I knew the things that he lied about. That was one thing. But I also told him, like, hey, don't lie to me about nothing else. Like, let's not do that. So now I want to take you into meeting his mom. Part 8, the lies he told. So at this time, I tell him, like, hey, I really want to go ahead and meet your mom. We, at least at this point, anywhere between 2 to 3 months in the game. I said, hey, I really feel like it's time that I meet your mom. You've met my family. I've met only your father. I've met a couple of your cousins when we was over there visiting with your daddy. So let me meet your mom. He tells me,
She said at this point we are 2 or 3 months in the game. 2 or 3 months. All this happened. And she found out the truth about all this stuff within 2 to 3 months and still stayed with him.
babe, remember I told you my mom is a doctor and her availability is a little tight. I said, okay, cool. I said, but still, I really do need to meet her. Now, prior to me meeting her, when he told me that his mama was a doctor, when I found out his mama name, I did a Google search because he told me that she owned her own practice and she did. It was like she was like a primary care physician. Like she did everybody, babies, adults. She was just a PCP all around, but she had her own practice. Now I looked up all practices in Houston, Texas, and surrounding areas. Her name did not come up as being a physician. Her name did not come up as being someone that owned their own practice. So I was concerned about that as well. And so he contacted her. He never told me like a date and a time that we were going to meet. One Saturday, I was at home. I probably was laying in the bed. He called me because he was at work at Phil and Derek's, and he said, babe, my mom, she gonna pull up. If you want to meet her, you can come on through. Bet I'm on my way. Put on clothes, got up there, and his mama came roughly shorter after I got there. Excuse me. I said, I walked outside, I went and met her, and I said, hi, it's so nice to meet you. He said, mama, this is Jillian. Jillian, this is my mama. I said, it's really nice to meet you. She looked me up and down, and her first question to me was, who is your OBGYN? Ma'am, hello? How you doing, ma'am? Who's your OBGYN? I said, Dr. Kathy Sander at Kelsey Sibo, one of the best in the nation. Okay, I know some folks over at Kelsey Sibo. I can always make a phone call if I need to. Now, at the time, I'm looking because I'm saying to myself, oh, maybe she's just concerned about the well being of her grandchild. And if something were to ever happen, maybe, if I needed assistance or something, she could make a phone call. That's not what that was at all. Not what that was at all. After she asked that question, I said, oh, okay. And she said, so I have another question though. Um, you and him, y'all met pretty fast. You already pregnant by him? Trying to insinuate that there is no way that I could be pregnant by her child. Ma'am, it done been 2 or 3 months. We have been back to back, ma'am. So yeah, this is baby. This most definitely his baby. Ain't nobody else been at my house but your son. Yes, ma'am, this is your baby. So that had already put a bad sour taste in my mouth about her because now you asking inappropriate questions.
What's funny is you already put a bad taste in his mama mouth. Woo! You talking about she put a bad taste in your mouth, girl. You put a whole bad taste in her lifestyle. She's trying to wonder how this whore then got pregnant by her son in 2 to 3 months. Like, mm. The mama think you a whore, sis. The mama thinks you's a for real, for real. And no judgment, but sis, I said so. You gotta use no condom. Like you ain't make him use a condom, girl. You seen him the second time you laid your eyeballs on him and you slept with him. Mm. And you pregnant now. Girl, bye. This is a mess. The mama is rightfully asking the right goddamn questions. Because how the hell you done only known my son for 2 damn months and you pregnant already? The fuck?
in our first conversation
Hell
at that.
no.
So I had a little trouble trying to have respect for a woman that was so disrespectful to me at the very first attempt. So later on that day, he comes home, or later on that night, he comes home, and I say to him, hey, I didn't really want to bother you about this when you was at work. However,
I believe there are 25 parts of this. I'm not sure if she's in the YouTube partner. I mean the TikTok partnership. I'm not sure at all if she's in it. We all thought that Risa was making so much money on them videos, and Risa didn't make nothing on her videos. So I'm not. I don't even know, y'all.
it really bothered me about what your mom said when I met her. And he said, well, what did she say? Because I really wasn't kind of paying attention. And granted, he was not. He was at work, so he kind of left us alone a couple of times. And I mean, after she said what she said, I kind of like walked off, and I was like, all right, I'm about to go ahead and go on back to the house, because that's weird. I remember calling my mama and telling my mama, hey, I met Jared mama. Boom, this is what she said. My mama was like, what type of bullshit is that? My mama, y'all ignorant, and I'm gonna get to her too. So so I told him, I said, I ain't
Your mama ain't ignorant enough, because she didn't, like, any mother would have questioned the same way. Any mother of a son would have questioned the same thing in the same way. Because how you just met my son 2 months ago and you already talking about you pregnant? You sure? Like, my son ain't got no kids. He ain't had no kid. You sure his baby? They all gonna have the same questions. Girl, bye.
really appreciate that. He asked me what she said. I ran it to him, and he said, babe, I had already told you I really didn't want you to meet him. He always referred to her as her first name. He never really called her mom. He never did. So I said, okay. I said, I understand that you told me that she really didn't like any of your past relationships or past women or whatever. However, I am going to be the mother of your first child. Like, does that not ring a bell to her? I said, is she not gonna be like the grandmama type, somebody that we would be able to rely on to like help us with the kid? He said, oh yeah, she'll be good for that. I'm sure she's pretty excited about the baby, but this all just happened so fast. Granted, it did. It
It
did happen so
did.
fast. Okay, cool. I said, no problem. So I get on the phone, me and his daddy, we chopping it up, and I tell his daddy, I said, hey, I met his mom, where does she work at? Because Jared told me she's a doctor, and she had the audacity to be asking me all about my physician name and stuff like that. I said, so what's her deal? He said, man, that's just who she is, bro. That's just who she is. She always been like that. He said, but wait a minute now, she ain't no damn doctor. I'm gonna tell you that now. He said, if anything, she's an LVN. I said, an LVN. He said, man, that girl a damn nurse. She ain't.
LVN. Now I wonder, did he actually say a LVN, or is she mistakenly saying that? A LPN? And if she is a LPN, I don't really like the fact that the daddy discrediting her, or that she's trying to discredit this lady. She ain't no damn doctor. If anything, she a LVN. What the fuck? If anything, she more than both of y'all, is from what I'm understanding. And her being an LPN, I get her asking who the hell your OBGYN is. Like, she might not have her own practice, but don't try to discredit her being an LVN, okay?
No, he said, I
Oh,
don't even think
y'all.
she's a registered nurse.
What?
I said, no, bro, this woman got to be a doctor. She got to be a doctor. Like, ain't no way
Oh,
this man
that's
that told me that
good.
his mama is a damn doctor and
That's
she's a damn
good.
LVN or an RN. His daddy never lied to me. Do you hear me? His daddy never lied to me. Come to find out, his mama was an RN going to school to be a nurse practitioner at the time that I met him.
I just don't even appreciate them trying to discredit I just don't like. God dang, y'all. He said she had her own practice, which was a lie. But girl, stop trying to discredit what the heck she's saying. She gonna be looking up in your coochie when you had that baby. Child. Oh, that's crazy. LVN. I'm done. Goodbye.
When I tell you, when I had that conversation with his daddy, I waited a couple of days or so. And I asked him, he was driving me somewhere. And I asked him, I said,
I got a question.
your mama a doctor where again?
Child, her these
He said,
questions.
remember, I told you she got her own practice or whatever. I said, your mama RN. Your daddy told me your mama RN. He said, no, my mama most definitely a doctor. I said, okay, babe. I said, call your mama right now. Call her on the phone right now. And he
Child.
did. But he did not put his mama on speakerphone. But I seen him dial his mama number. He said, Ma, what you tell me you was in school for?
Mm-hmm.
She obviously answered. I have no idea what she said to him. And she asked him, why you asked me that? He said, I just couldn't remember what you told me you was going to school for. He hung up. I said, so is she a doctor or not? He said, she's in school to get her master's in nursing. I said, so she's not an MD. Your mama ain't no doctor. I said, so that's not making any sense to me. Once again now, that's another lie that he.
I just don't know. I just feel so much offense right now. The fuck? The fact that she's doing what she's doing and she trying to better her life. And I promise she's doing more than Julian and a Jared. But they just trying to discredit it. So she not an MD. What is you, ma'am? What are you? Because from what we can tell for sure, you met this man the second time, you had intercourse with him, now you've got pregnant with him, you brought a complete stranger around your son, you moved him in your home. What are you? Because she actually do bettering herself. And this was 4 years ago, y'all. So wonder where the mama is now. Ooh, ooh. She doing something with her life, so she probably ain't gonna make no TikToks in response. But child, somebody should on her behalf because the disrespect that's coming.
He told that he could have killed. Why?
Child,
Why in the world would you tell somebody that your mama is a full ass MD when she ain't nothing but a damn RN? Why?
this lady,
Why would you say that?
this chick is an idiot. I promise you.
Part 9, I'm going back to the timeline of our relationship, but I had to get that out about me meeting his mom.
Ooh.
Part 9, the lies he told. I stated at the very end of part 8 that I was going to get back to the timeline of our relationship so that I can really get down to the nitty gritty of why I am doing this testimony.
And what's with these chicks in these wigs? I just cannot. I cannot. Oh, sis, if you gonna do part 1 through 25, keep your hair on the whole time, okay? I don't care how many days you gotta stretch it into. You keep your damn hair on. Keep your hair on. What the hell is wrong with y'all? And Risa did the same thing. I'm tell her the same. Keep your damn hair on. What is wrong with y'all? We got part 1 through 6 with a whole wig, and then part 9, you come on here with the hair covered up, and we see the little juju sticking out from the side. And then Risa came on part 15 with her head covered up with a hoodie on. Like, y'all better have some respect for yourselves. Y'all gonna get up on this platform and make all these videos telling what didn't happen. Keep your damn wig on.
I do want to clarify a couple of things before I start part 9, however, because I do see all of your comments, the negative ones and the positive ones. To address a couple of the negative ones, I understand that you may be confused. Maybe you're expecting me to be exactly like Miss Risa Tisa, that's not going to happen. I'm a totally different woman and I have a totally different story. It may sound similar, but trust and believe.
I think if you gonna copy her right after she went viral, you need to make sure that you got your P's and Q's in line. The I's need to be dotted, the T's need to be crossed. That's what we think. If you gonna come on here and try to completely copy something that just went viral and then be trying to discredit his mama, I think you need to have it all in line together. That's just what I think. Carry on, sis.
Hands were thrown in mine to the point where almost was some killing happening. So I'll get to that. But let me just be clear that I'm gonna tell this story the way that I'm gonna tell it. And if you
And the
can't stick
streets
around for it, try
gaming.
to go and watch somebody else because it looks like a lot of women now are coming out with their own story. So
Child.
thank you for sticking around. How you have, but I'm gonna keep moving, pushing forward. Another thing that I want to clarify: I see a lot of people are still confused about the whole car situation with the tag. That was his mama's car. That was his mama's tag. Okay, the alleged baby was not his real daughter.
I don't even know how the hell I knew it was his mama's car. It just, I knew it. It was like it was common sense. I swear when she said that tag said Cece. And he said that his sister, his mama was he grew up thinking that his mama was his sister, but it actually was his mama. So the mama she's kind of young, she's with the shits. I just knew that was her Camaro. That is out of control, y'all. Pink tag, the name is Cece. And you got the nerve to be disrespecting his mama, and she letting him drive her car. Something else. Something else.
His dad told me that, and I confirmed that that was not his real baby. I also confirmed that he was never married. I have also confirmed that he never owned a house with his ex-wife. I confirmed that his ex-wife was not in Germany teaching. I have confirmed a lot of things so far. So if you hadn't gotten caught up, try to watch parts 1 through 8. And now we're going back to part 9.
Sis, we don't need to watch part 1 through 8 to get caught up. We need you to be caught up. That's what we need. We need you to be caught up, and we need you to give us the story in order. Don't get offended that you leaving everything out of the story and your dates are off. Everything is just completely off. You can't tell us if you got pregnant before you went on lockdown or after you went on lockdown. You can't tell us when you actually got sick. You calling to check up on Dick instead of relaying to the restaurant that you deathly ill after leaving their restaurant. Don't get mad and try to tell us to get caught up. We didn't listen to what the fuck you said, and we didn't caught the lies you've told and the mistakes that you've made, sis. We have caught them while you're trying to copy Risa Tisa. And part 1, she said, I was gonna title this Who the Fuck Did I Marry? But I'ma let Risa get her flowers. Um, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, if that's what you say. You're gonna let her get her flowers, but you come out 3 days after she went viral with your storyline, and yours ain't even in order. You couldn't even take a weekend to make sure you got everything in order before you made these videos. And then you want to get offended at the negative comments because they calling out what they calling out. There probably were a lot of comments calling out her disrespecting the mother. She's not an MD. What the hell are you? I really want to know what she does. Because she got a lot of smoke for the mama. Because the mama questioned if she's a whore and why she's pregnant by her son after only knowing his son for 2 months. I would question the same damn thing. You didn't know my son since February. It's April and you talking about you pregnant? By who? And it would be one of those situations where, yeah, I'll wait for a DNA test. It is what it is. I will wait for a DNA test, sis, because you can't expect me to have respect for you if you didn't have respect for yourself. And if you had respect for yourself, you wouldn't be pregnant by my son only knowing him for 2 months. This is common sense. So I'll wait for a DNA test. And if the one don't come at all, don't worry. Don't worry at all. I won't lose sleep. I promise y'all. Mm-mm. And I may sound harsh, and some of y'all might need to pick up on this, but hell no. I will not lose sleep if a DNA test does not come for a child that you're trying to say is my grandchild. I won't lose no sleep, sis. I won't. Because you a whore. Period. You got pregnant by my son after knowing him for goddamn 30 days. You are a whore. And you want to question what the fuck I do. Girl, please. So we said what we said, sis. We're gonna carry on with part 9 because hey, girl, I know she like, well, Risa didn't receive all this. Shit, Risa's motherfucking dates added up. Risa didn't give me nothing to question for real. Sis, she gave me date after date after date after date. And she made sure everything lined up.
All right. So moving along with the timeline, it's all screwed up, guys. It's extremely screwed up.
Hey,
I don't
I ain't
have
playing.
dates.
I ain't losing no
gonna just
sleep.
be honest.
You
Just
better
keep in
give a
mind,
goddamn DNA test.
my initial meeting with him was January 5th. By the end of January or the beginning of February, we met at my house to have pizza, to have a discussion. We did have a one night stand that night. He never left. He gradually started moving things in over a course of time. February 28th, we got engaged. In March, sometime in March, I met his mom. Let's not forget, I had already met the dad in February. And so around April, Mayish, we are trying to do premarital counseling. So that's the timeline of the events right there. Also in March, we did go to Mississippi to meet my family. So that's the timeline right there. Short, sweet, simple. Don't add none to it. Don't take none away from it. It's cool.
Girl, bye.
We got married June 29th, 2020. Before we got married, there are a couple of things that I want to note before the marriage started. Both of us have always had 2 cellular devices, one personal, one for work. I assumed that his second phone was always from work. He told me that the co-owners of Phil and Derek's bought that phone for him, and that's his.
What the hell? He need a second phone for a restaurant job. Oh, you cannot be serious right now. Oh, hell no, sis. Here we go with the 2 device. I don't even. At first, I promised because y'all said y'all didn't believe her, and I tried to give sis her. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. I really did, and I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But when she introduces the 2 mobile devices, she received another red X. It's just like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. You're not gonna just keep stealing pieces from Risa's story. We cannot do this, sis. Is nothing gonna be authentically from your story, or everything just coming from Risa's story? Everything coming from Risa's story, because we talking about cars. Risa talked about. We talking about houses. Risa talked about ex-wives. Risa talked about you threw a kid in this thing. Risa talked about. Uh, Now we got 2 phones. But understand, this man works in a damn restaurant. What he need another phone for? Hmm. Girl, bye. Nope.
Work phone. That's where he get his work emails.
Nope.
That's where
Nope. Nope.
customers
Nope.
can call to make reservations in with him, leave
Mm-mm.
bad reviews, whatever the case may be. I literally believed all of that. Come to find.
But remember, she was calling the regular job phone to leave her review, right? She said that he got the second phone for people to leave bad reviews, stuff like that. But she Googled the job name and called the job's phone to leave her review. A manager called her back from the job's phone to leave the review, right? Oh my gosh. And she keep throwing in the fucking wing spot, which is confusing people. He worked at Buffalo Wild Wings 12 years ago. 12 years ago. He don't work at Buffalo Wild Wings now. Not even recently. This was 12 years ago. Like I just yeah. And then she wonder why people is talking crazy in the comment section and confused and say she's lying. It's easy.
Find
Very
out that was a
easy.
lie. That was another phone that that man had that he was paying the bill on, because I could never understand why that phone kept getting cut off. He could not handle two phone bills, because mind you, he's still paying all of my household bills. He paying everything. However, I am the type to go through the phones. I am. So I'm going to get to that a little bit later. So before marrying him, I sat in the tub one night, and this will be extremely hard for me to get out. So just bear with me. The night before I married that man, I had already been praying. I had already been asking God, please fix him. And I know that's the wrong prayer. I do. I ain't no weak Christian. Now I'm pretty put together, but at that time in my life, I was vulnerable. I desired to be married. I really did. I said, God, I have been praying for this man. I have been praying for this relationship. I have been praying over this baby that isn't here yet.
She said, I ain't no weak Christian. We know only the weak Christians are the ones that open their legs on the second date. What is you talking about, sis? The strong ones don't open. It's only the weak Christians that open their legs on the second date, sis. The strong ones know to wait 30 days. I don't know what book you've been reading. Y'all don't pay me no mind. She's a weak Christian. She said, I ain't no weak Christian. Yeah, okay. I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
I do really, really care for him. And I really think and really know that he cares for me and my son. And I was talking about my oldest at the time. I said, so I need a sign. I need you to let me know if this is my husband or not. Immediately in my spirit, I felt no.
Mm.
I heard an audible voice tell me, this is not your husband.
Oh,
No.
girl.
My mom was in town. My mom and my sister, they were at the house with me. And I never told them this. But God told me no. He told me no.
And you still did
And
it.
I still, that next
Mm-mm-mm.
day,
Child, bye.
I still went along with it. And the sign that God gave me after telling me no
That's crazy.
was him coming home, and we had a disagreement about something. And he looked at me and he said, you ain't got to marry me if you don't want to.
Mm.
That should have been my chance there to say, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm probably not. We can go ahead and call all this shit off.
And she still married him. Like, I don't know if she lying or not, y'all. But that's real strong and that's real powerful. And she still married him. Understand? Risa Tisa, on the way to her first date, her tire blew on the highway and she still got with him. Like, hmm, eh, the man above be speaking. He be speaking, he be speaking. And we don't listen. We do not listen. Oh my goodness. Jesus, Jesus, help us. Help us, Lord. Maybe help us. We're going to listen one day, okay? Just keep working with us. We gonna listen. We're gonna listen. We gonna listen one day, y'all. We ain't gonna have no choice because this is out of control.
I was the one that paid for the ceremony at the judge's office,
Oh hell no.
because we didn't get married at a courthouse. We got married at a law firm. Y'all know that attorneys are judges, so um,
Hell
or
no.
judges are attorneys. I'm sorry. So we got married at his law firm office. We could only have a maximum of 12. His dad and his stepmom were the only two that showed up. His mother was not in attendance. But God had already showed me in so many ways, from the lies and from the behavior that was coming, that he was not meant to be my husband. I moved extremely fast with this man.
Mm-hmm.
I fell for the okey doke. I was stupid. I was confused as well. I was extremely vulnerable, and my heart felt that we could make it work. My heart felt that. Don't ever listen to your heart. Don't ever listen to your heart. Listen to God. Listen to God, because God will never ever fail you. And now I would like to move on to part 10 to take you through, after the ceremony,
A law
everything that
firm.
occurred
Child.
until the end of my divorce.
You going to law firm to get married, you just don't need to.
Part 10, the lies he told. So, right after the ceremony,
oh, I don't believe her.
We go to this restaurant in the Woodlands. It was a
oh, hell no. The way this video started, I don't believe you, sis. She started too hyphy. You see how she moving her hands, and oh no, she's trying to make us believe her, but we don't believe. You can raise your tone, sis. You can move your fingers from the left to the right, up and down. You can move the motherfuckers in the counterclockwise if you want. I don't believe you. I don't believe it. I can't. I can't. The beginning of this video said, "Nah, Blah, you don't believe her."
the seafood restaurant. We got married on a Sunday, and my mom and my sister, they had to fly back out. So it was just me, him, my father-in-law, and my mother-in-law, like the stepmother-in-law. I guess that's how you would phrase it. And so we're there. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm in la la land. I'm like, you know what? I'm finally married. I'm Mrs. Such and Such. And I said, this feels amazing. We went home that night, do what lovers do. And, you know, we moving on with life. I'm currently working.
Why does she feel the need to keep, like, that's why we don't believe you, sis. It's just, you doing too much to make this story believable. Put it like that. You're doing too many antics and you doing too much to make it believable. You know how you could tell when people lying when they just start moving and they all antsy and they start over talking themselves and then they start moving their hands and all that. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing right now, sis, and we don't believe you. We don't give no damn that y'all got married and then went home and did the oochie coochie. We don't care. Why would you even tell us that? What part of the story did that make? Like, where did it fall into the story? It didn't make us believe you more. You just felt the need to put some animation in it. Okay, sis, I get it. All right.
Working from home. You know, I'm pregnant. My boss at the time was like, hey, I don't want you to come in. I don't need you to be exposed. You know, I want you and the baby to, you know, be okay. So as time moves on,
that was God.
He was still actively working. He would come home, you know, things were on the up and up. Then all of a sudden one day I got a messenger message from a young lady. For purposes of this story, her name is Erica.
Oh,
and
no.
Erica reached out and said, would you divorce your husband if he was cheating on you?
Child, it wasn't me.
And she just kept typing, like kept hitting, and it went to my message request. So
I think it might have been the Erics, y'all. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I think it might have been the Eric's messaging her, girl. She said, I got a message from a girl named Erica. What, bitch? Now, I really don't believe you. I really the fuck don't believe you. First of all, you gonna say that either I messaged you or the Erics messaged you. And then you said that dude shot Legion in the leg? We don't believe you. We don't we don't believe it, sis. Too many lies done been told.
I didn't initially see it at first.
Child.
And so she was like, I really need you to contact me. I need you to hit me up. Is there any way that I can get your number? She just going. And I'm like, man, who is this woman? Who is this? So
his girlfriend.
By the time I get to like her Facebook page or whatever, I get her full name and I ask Jared, I say, Jared, do you know this woman? He tells me, yeah,
So you telling us that this woman was harassing you on Facebook and you didn't contact her? Right. She found Paris' Facebook, y'all. She didn't contact Paris to figure out the lies. Now, this Erica woman is harassing her, talking about, would you leave your husband if he was cheating? Bitch, who the fuck is you? Who, that bitch motherfucking messenger would have been ringing before she even put the motherfucking period on that shit. Who the fuck is you, bitch? You ain't gotta ask no motherfucking common sense ass fucking question like that, bitch. Who are you? And stop playing these goddamn games with me. Just say, hey, I'm fucking him, and I thought you should know. Not would you leave your husband if you found out he was cheating? Bitch, none of that matters. Just say, I'm fucking him, and I thought you should know. Okay? We're gonna handle that just like that. That goddamn, this bitch, she's dumb. She is, I cannot. She's dumb. She said this lady harassed her in so many messages and said, I went to her Facebook finally, bitch. What? And then you ask Jared? Fuck Jared. Why would you ask him? He's lied to you about every single thing. Girl, I almost wonder if it's even Jared's baby. The fuck? And I'm just child. He done lied about everything else. This
that's
is
a stalker
dumb.
bitch.
This is stupid as fuck.
I said, a stalker bitch. He said, yeah, man. I was fucking with that girl for a little minute, man, and she just downright crazy. She done hit up every woman that I'd have been with since her. Don't pay her no mind, yada, yada, yada. I said, okay. And I said, so how she get my information?
Right.
Because you got her blocked on. He told me she was blocked on everything. He said, man, I don't know. She probably went to my daddy page, seen your name, because his daddy did post pictures nonstop of me. Always posted pictures of us together, posted pictures of our marriage, posted pictures of me. When I would post pictures, he would repost the pictures. Just, I mean, was my dog for real, still to this day, my nigga. And so I said, okay, that's kind of strange. So I responded back to her, being the woman that I am, coming woman to woman.
Really? Being the woman that I am. What? You responded back when finally? Because you didn't look for her Facebook and look through shit, and then you didn't ask the lying ass motherfucker who she is and all of this without instantly responding back to her. But you woman to woman, right? Because woman to woman, you would have instantly responded back to her, not stopped and think like, hold on, do I really want my feelings hurt? Jared, who is this? I don't get no fuck to ask this lying ass nigga who she is. He done lied about every goddamn thing. Everything.
Hey sis, I'm Mrs. Such and Such,
This shit's,
Mrs.
oh
MRS,
man.
period. Being the biggest dumb bitch in the world. I said, I know my motherfucking man. He go to work, he come
Girl,
home.
bye.
He ain't, I already know that you a stalker. I know this, then the third,
Mm-mm-mm.
and so I blocked him.
Stupid.
This woman did try reaching out to me on Instagram later on, in the story, all of that type of stuff. And I am going to get back to her.
Wow.
So something led me to start going through his devices. He did have two phones, one personal, one work phone. So I would always go through his phone when he was asleep. The reason
What I tell y'all yesterday? What I tell y'all yesterday? Don't go through them damn devices while they sleep. What the hell is you hiding going through his stuff for? Why are you hiding? You scared? What the fuck is you scared of? Don't be scared, because when you're going through his shit while you hiding in the bathroom and he's asleep, as soon as you see that he's messaging so and so or whatever, you going right in there and waking him up anyway and putting it in his face. So why are you hiding doing it? If you feel the need to go through his shit, go through it right there in front of him. Right the fuck there in front of him. Sit right on that bed next to him, grab that motherfucking device and go through it if that's what you want to do. But don't run off and hide and do it like a little punk ass bitch. Then you go and wake him up like a fucking psycho out of his sleep, just randomly going crazy. Hell no. Go through that shit right there in front of him. Go crazy right there in front of him. Right the fuck there. If that's what you're going to do. She said, I like to go through it when he's asleep. Cause you're not a real bitch. You're not a real bitch. She said, like the real bitch I am. I message her back. Yes, I miss so and so. And then you blocked her? You blocked her so she can't send you the screenshots of her talking to your man? These females, these females, y'all did. But she bashing the mama. She said, your mama ain't no MD, bitch. You need to go to school with his mama is what you need to do.
I started going through his phone was
Hell
because
no.
the phones would start vibrating in the middle of the night. Who calling you at 3 o'clock? Who calling you at 3?
Get
People
up at
were
3 o'clock and
texting
look through
and
that shit with
contacting him from
him.
text-free numbers. I would try to call the number back. It would say, welcome to text-free, or however the little audio
Hell
go when they
no.
don't answer the phone. So I'm like, all right, that's strange. Who are all these?
That shit dumb as fuck, y'all. I'm not playing those goddamn games. Let that motherfucking device ring 3 in the morning, shorty. Shorty. I'ma climb over my husband. Understand? I'm climbing all on top of this nigga, legs gap wide open, coochie right on the damn stomach, nigga. And hello. I'm gonna answer this bitch yelling 3 in the fucking morning. We know. Man, y'all better stop acting all naive and scared and all that shit. He's still gonna be there. Girl, he's not going anywhere. He's not. You can answer that phone at 3 in the morning. Answer it and be loud and obnoxious. And wake him up right before you answer it. He ain't going nowhere. Y'all better stop with this foolery. He ain't going nowhere. Where the fuck he going? Shit.
Numbers, these random numbers.
He ain't going nowhere.
I had no idea who these people
I'm
were.
answering all that shit.
And at the time, I didn't even know if it was multiple people. I just thought that it might have been the crazy woman that he claimed was a stalker bitch.
You stupid.
Come to find out, that wasn't the case at all.
You were stupid.
So I would still go and visit him like at the restaurant and things like that. And one night he came home and he said, babe, I'm about to start applying for other jobs. I said, what's wrong with feeling Derek's? He was like, to be honest with you, babe, I ain't trying to be up there no more.
Reese's story. Reese's story.
I said, okay. He said, they working me like a
Here we go. Reese's storyline again. Just all randomly, I'm gonna switch a job. Like, girl, bye. I'm gonna need you to come up with some new stuff of your own because I don't like deja vu. Like sometimes it do be interesting. Like, did I see this already? I might be tripping, but you coming with the same stuff sis already told us. Now he about to just randomly quit his job. Okay.
Slave, I need to make adjustments because you're about to get ready to have this baby. Because my due date was November 15th. He said, so right. I need to
That's
make
how it better
sure
be.
that I am at a place where I can get FMLA. Because believe it or not, he did tell me that at Phil & Derek's, he did not have any insurance benefits whatsoever. And I believed him because, I mean, it was, I ain't gonna even say to come in because y'all will fire me up about that. But, more businesses that are us's, they don't offer a lot of benefits. Sometimes you can barely get paid. Sometimes. So he started actively looking for other positions. He finally landed at Fish City Grill in Sugar Land, Texas. We at the time lived on the border of Cypress, Texas. So Sugar Land is a hike. It ain't that bad, but it ain't down the street either. Phil & Derek's went down the street either, but all right. And so he says, babe, I got an interview. They're going to be paying me. I want to say that man told me they were going to be paying him $65,000 a year. It was going to come with benefits, insurance, FMLA. So it worked out perfect. I said, okay, babe, that's perfect. He said, so When this lease is up here, I will commute right now, which he did. He commuted for a good 4 or 5 months. He said, I will start commuting, but when the lease is up, let's try to look for a house. And then, maybe we can find something that'll be closer out that way. See, the thing about a narcissist is they'll try to isolate you from your family because my family lives out here in Cyprus. Yes, I'm from Mississippi, but my Mississippi family, they're out here. My help is out here. I said, okay, babe, we married. So, I'm like, all right, I'm going to support you. We going to do such and such. So he starts working at Fish City Grill. When he starts working at Fish City Grill, one beautiful day in October, I am headed out for not only a nail appointment, but I am headed out for to vote. It was voting time. I don't even know who I was going to vote for, but I was going to vote. I get to the third stair in the townhome. I slip and fall and I roll over. And when I pick my leg up, my foot was hanging like Dak Prescott was. I had broke my ankle in 3 places. There was no one at home with me. He was in Sugarland and Fish City Grill. The God thing about this is that I had my key in my hand that had the fob to the garage.
Okay, y'all. So I looked it up. The distance she's talking about is about roughly 25 miles. As soon as she said, my help is out here and a narcissist will try to get you away. I said, okay, well, let me look up the distance between where she is and where he got the job at. It's about 25 miles, you guys. Oh, she said he trying to take her away from her family because you know what a narcissist does. You're gonna take her a whole 25 goddamn miles away. Okay. All right. Okay.
So that anybody that needed to come through,
All
they
right.
could come through the garage, whether there was the paramedics, anybody in my family. So I immediately called my cousin, Coco.
But his
And
mama
Coco
arguing to
said,
make way more than that, and
hey,
she
what's
talking
up?
down on her
I am in
because she a
pain. I'm
hater.
crying. And I tell her, I
She's a
just fell down
hater.
the stairs. I'm about to give birth by November 15th. It had to be like October, maybe 20th. Don't quote me on a date. And I said, I just fell. I fell down the stairs. She like, oh shit, I'm on my way. She calling 911. They both make it around the same time. They get me up on the stretcher. She's on the phone with Jared. She's like, hey, she just fell down the stairs. He's panicking. He's like, okay, I'm on my way. I'm coming to get there. I'm going to be there. I get to the emergency room. It takes him quite a while to get there because he's coming from Sugarland. And I'll finish the story in part 11. Part 11, the lies he told. So he makes it to the hospital. He has relieved Coco. She's headed out. I believe she.
Now, y'all remember in Risa's story, right? The best friend had to take her to the hospital. We talking about a hospital again. These stories is aligned so well, don't they? Best friend took her to the hospital for the DNC. It took the husband a long time to get there. Like Risa said, it took Legion like more than 3-4 hours to actually get to the hospital after the nurses had called him and told him she's woke, it's time for her to go. It took him forever to get there, and now she's saying that it took him for a long time to get to the hospital. Her friend took her to the hospital and it took him a long time to get there. These stories are the same.
She had to go to work that day, but we truly appreciated her coming through. Shout out to you, Coco. He gets on the phone. He calls my parents. He calls my job. He lets everybody know what has happened. And he's there. He's present. At that time, he was the husband that I needed him to be. It came back that I had broke my ankle in 3 different places.
God dang.
I knew,
Ooh-wee.
all of us knew that surgery was going to have to happen. Surgery had to happen before I had the baby. This happened mid-October, and I was scheduled to give birth on November 15th. I don't do C-sections, guys, so, and that might be a little TMI, but I did not know. I did not know that I wasn't going to make it to November 15th. First baby, I made it full term. I actually had him a week late. So with this baby,
She said, I don't do C sections, guys. Like it's an option. it's her ignorance for me. I promise. And her ignorance is what's making it like she's lying. It's so much animation to the story. And the shit that I don't do C-sections, guys. This might be too much information. What the hell was too much information about you telling us you don't do C-sections? As if people opt into having C-sections all the time. Like they just go in the hospital. Oh no, fuck that. Go ahead and cut my gut right open and pull the baby out of me. This is my choice. Fuck, this girl is
It was different.
child, y'all.
I went into my provider. They let me know, hey, we're going to have surgery scheduled. I think I fell like on a Tuesday, and surgery was um, either, I think surgery was that following Tuesday, like the next Tuesday. So I was in a splint at home for a while. I went to the hospital. I had the surgery. He was there when I woke up. He made sure everybody knew that I was fine. And we went home. Now, I lived on in a townhouse, so everything was on the second floor. Where things started getting shaky for me, and when I noticed that this probably wasn't going to be a nice ride moving forward because I was immobile, I could not make it up the stairs. I was a lot bigger than him at the time, and there was no way that he could carry me up the stairs. So, guys, I had to use my arm strength to get up the stairs, one stair at a time, pulling myself with my upper body strength. It
And
was
she was
hurtful, it
pregnant.
was painful because I was pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm.
He still continued to go to work. He never stayed at home with me. He never told his boss like, "Hey, my wife needs me at home." I just really sat there and had to figure out life on my own.
No, it's the same baby.
I still had to go to my appointments at the doctor. So when I went to the doctor,
She's talking about the pregnancy with the same baby. At first she was talking about around February and March, and now we're into October.
to my OBGYN, my OBGYN told me within the next 2 weeks, because that's when I had a OBGYN, the next appointment. And she told me, she said, hey, um, you're only 2 centimeters dilated. I said, I'm dilating already? I said, the baby ain't due though till like November 15th. She was like, yeah, well, you 2 centimeters dilated. She said, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you gonna have these Braxton Hicks. So just, deal with it. I mean, I know that you're in pain because of your ankle, but it is what it is. And during this time I had a knee scooter. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna deal with it. And so I'm still inching myself up the stairs every now and again. I went to the doctor on a Wednesday. That night at 11 o'clock, my water broke. I was about to get ready to have that baby. He was at home, and the way that he handled it, it broke my heart. He was in more of a panic and an attitude than I could ever be. I was so calm. I called my grandma, I called my mom, and I said, y'all, my water just broke. I'm about to get ready to have this baby. They said, and you can't walk? I said, I can't walk. I can't get down the stairs. Called the ambulance. Four of the most gracious men came, and they said, we're not going to drop you. We got you. I was so scared. I had so much anxiety because I had already had anxiety from falling down those stairs, and to be taken down on a stretcher, pregnant, water broke. My husband
I think her water probably went ahead and broke because of all the pressure of basically dragging herself up them stairs. That's probably what forced her on into labor, I think. Cause that's a lot. Like God, that's a child. That's a lot.
been all over the place, just a lot. I didn't even have my bag packed to go to the hospital. So I make it to the hospital. During COVID, there were certain restrictions. There was no way that it took my husband 4 hours to get to me while I was sitting in a room by myself going through those contractions. I have no idea where that man was for 4 hours. No idea. I sat in the room, and it was like the emergency room. So I sat there by myself, having those contractions. They could not give me anything. They could not give me anything because I was on blood thinners. I did not have an epidural. I had that baby just as natural. And I suffered through all of those things, all of those things. They finally put me in a room. There was no doctor in the room, but there was a nurse in the room and a nurse that was in training in the room. At around 3:30, my beautiful baby boy popped out with no doctor in that room and rolled on that bed. And he was at the bottom of the bed to catch it. And as soon as he caught that baby, he fell out.
I thought she said she had a girl. Oh, I think I went back too far. Hold on.
Self having those contractions, they could not give me anything. They could not give me anything because I was on blood thinners. I did not have an epidural. I had that baby just as natural. And I suffered through all of those things, all of those things. They finally put me in a room. There was no doctor in the room, but there was a nurse in the room and a nurse that was in training in the room. At around 3:30, my beautiful baby boy popped out with no doctor in that room and rolled on that bed. And he was at the bottom of the bed to catch it. And as soon as he caught that baby, he fell out. Fell out. And so I'm crying. I'm trying.
She said her beautiful baby boy, right? But I'm I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know. Because at the beginning of the series, she said a beautiful 3-year-old baby girl came out of this. But she just said her baby boy rolled out. So she got more kids by him or what?
To, get myself together because now everybody rushing in the room, doctors coming in, everybody, they like, oh my God, oh my God. So they're putting the baby under the light or whatever that is to the right. And they come to me and they said, ma'am, your husband is going to be okay. And I looked and I said, what you mean my husband going to be okay? They said he fell out. I had no idea that none of this had happened. I said, what you mean he had fell out? Do y'all know when that bitch came back in that room, he looked at me and he said, I can't even look at you right now because I saw you with all of your insides hanging out of your body. And that disgusts me.
Oh, what the and I'm not laughing at what he said, but I am because I've never heard anything like that before. And sis just said that she trying to make this story sound worse as possible to get sympathy. And I gotta agree. I have to agree. I have heard and I have seen like a child with my brother, when his son was born, my brother hit the ground. Like he hit the ground. He hit the ground. But he didn't say no creepy shit like that. What? I never heard anybody say anything like that. We know that when the men are standing there, they see some shit that they never seen in their life, like some once in a lifetime thing you're gonna see unless you have another baby. But for her to say that he said, I can't look at you right now because I seen your whole insides hanging out and you disgust me. What? What?
That disgusts me.
What?
And after hearing him say that,
Was in nursing school. I was
my
holding Lady Peg's
whole
up and the baby
world
came
shut
out.
down.
I got lightheaded.
One of the
Now
most beautiful
doctor told me to
times
have
of
a
my
seat.
life
Man,
was a complete joke and a complete insult at
what
that point.
in the world?
That man got on that couch to the left of my bed And he slept for the rest of the night. And I sat up and I looked at that beautiful baby. And I knew
What
then that this man
what was he doing the 4 hours that he was missing? Like, for him to just pass out like that and then get up and say some weird off the wall disrespectful stuff like that, like, was he getting high? This 4 hours that he was missing, like, was he getting high on, like, cocaine or crack or something? I Child, and she said that he went to the couch next to her and went to sleep for the entire night. He had to been smoking some crack or something that 4 hours that he was missing.
marriage was not going to last longer at all. Because how could you say that to me after having your first unborn, your first baby? How
That is
could you say that to
crazy.
somebody? You gagging, you making the same, doing that while telling
What?
me. That's the most fucked up thing that you could tell a mother that
Oh
just
my
could have
gosh.
lost her life for bringing life. How could you do that? I'm on a knee scooter still. My ankle, messed up.
Mm-mm-mm.
He left that next morning and he went to work. I was there by myself with the nurses. And I knew that I was in good hands because I was at the hospital. You always in good hands when you're at the hospital. But shout out to those nurses because they helped me. I appreciate that. So he would come back after he got off of work and everything, but it wasn't the same because he told me prior that he had FMLA. Then part 12, the lies he told. So
Like, it would never ever be the same. Um, he wouldn't have been able to come back in my hotel room. I mean, my hotel room. He would not have been able to come back in my hospital room at all. Um, like, what the fuck? Dude, you know how emotional females are after giving birth. He would have never been able to step foot back in that goddamn hospital room. Oh hell no! They would have just barred him from it. Like, bro, you make her so angry, her blood pressure go high. You just don't come back. Don't come back. Absolutely not. Ain't no goddamn way he would come back after he got off of work. Yeah, nah. After telling me some shit like that and gagging and all that, which it's understandable. I get it. He'd seen some shit that he never seen in his life and probably never imagined that he would see. But to say that you're disgusted is out of control. You can express what you've seen, you can express your emotions and how surprised you are and shocked and how it scared you, and even the gagging. I get it because he's having flashbacks in his head of what he's seen. And you the gagging is not purposely, it happens. I get it. But to tell her it was disgusting and that was the worst, nah. That right there was so disrespectful and just uncalled for and unneeded. Oh, hell nah. Mm-mm. And then, nah, man. After all the lies and everything, she still married him, and now she having his baby. Mm-mm.
so
That's sad.
I
Hell
contacted
nah.
the job, the his manager at his job, and they did not know that I had the baby. They told me that, hey, we will allow him to have as much time as he needs off, but he would need to let us know this type of information because he hasn't said anything. We knew that you were expecting, we just didn't know that you had already had the baby. I said, okay. He said he did tell us about the ankle, but he never told us anything about you having the baby. But congratulations. I said, thank you so much. He got upset with me for calling his boss.
That's because he wanted to use that vacation time to creep off and cheat and do what he wanted to do. He wanted to still leave in the morning and let you think that he was at work, but he was going to be wherever God knows where he would have been. That's why he didn't take that time. And he got mad when you called and got all up in his business because you didn't messed up his goddamn creeping time.
Why would you do that? Why would you call up there? I need this job. I said, what is the problem? Like, you have FMLA. Why didn't you submit the paperwork? He went all around the world about, I did submit it. And, they told me that I hadn't been there long enough to get it, yada, yada, yada. But they told me that I could use my PTO days. Now, I do know that sometimes you do have to be on a job for a little minute before you can do FMLA. Now, I don't know about restaurant jobs, but I know in corporate America,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
you can't just get a job there and be 7 months pregnant and then expect for them to give you FMLA in 2 months. It
Yeah.
really don't work that way. But and if your job do it, don't knock mine because mine don't do that. But anyway, so I believe that. I was like, okay, no problem. So I get out of the hospital. We get home. It should not be a surprise that he never did get up with the baby at night. I slept on the couch. When I slept on the couch, I would get up with my knee scooter when the baby cried. I would go to my little baby breezer, make him a bottle, give him the bottle, burp him, go back to sleep. I did that tirelessly until I couldn't anymore, until I really didn't need the knee scooter no more and none of that stuff, okay? So I had him on October 29th. My mother and my aunt came into town for Thanksgiving. They came in, they helped me, they did laundry, they did, running errands for me, like if I needed something. They just really came through in the clutch. My mom, she couldn't come as soon as I had the baby, but I am appreciative of when they were able to make it because they stayed with me for quite a bit, and I really, really appreciate that. He cooked a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner for us. One thing I did tell y'all, he could cook his ass off. He really could. So he did that. We fellowshipped, we ate, we communed with one another, and then, they left. When they left, I pretty much was stuck because I said, shit, my help gone now because he was still getting up, he was still going to work, still getting up, still going to work. My sister ended up coming in town. Now,
From the sounds of it, she worked from home. I would have left when they left. She when they had to go back home, I would have packed my little laptop up and my little baby up and goddamn 2-3 months worth of stuff, and I would have left with them. Hey, y'all not leaving me. I'm coming back to Mississippi with y'all for a few months. Shit. Uh-uh.
before I tell these details about this story, I want to make sure that y'all do understand that my sister is not a violent individual. Between the two of us, I can get with you. I really can. And my sister is the sweetest, most patient woman in the world. And this is also going to be hard for me to tell because my sister has never, ever, ever seen me the way that she saw me that day. So my sister comes into town. I had a couple of visitors over when she was here, so that they could see the baby. Like I said, this is December 2020. We're still in COVID. Um, so I had just a couple people over there. One night, I was on the phone with my cousin. Me and my cousin, we worked together. And me and my cousin, we were discussing something. And I am a big, big motivator, like encourager. And if you put this shit on, I'm gonna let you know you don't put this shit on. And my cousin, he a noob. So obviously um, I made some sort of I can't get my words together today, y'all. I am so sorry. I'm
I don't know if the baby is a dang on girl or a boy. Child. When she first started in part 2, I believe she told us that a beautiful 3-year-old baby girl came out of this mess. But now she just told us that her baby boy rolled out of her vajayjay. So I don't know.
so sorry.
I
I
don't know.
I gave him a compliment. I'm so sorry, y'all. My mind is I'm trying to get the story out. I complimented him on something. Obviously, my husband heard it over the phone. Now he was cool with my cousin, so cool that my cousin was his best man at our little ceremony that we had. There was no rhyme or reason for why he decided to get upset. My husband came in. I said, babe, hey, I'm about to Uber eat some Popeyes. What you want from Popeyes? He was like, give me a minute. I'm going to let you know. I'm still on the phone with my cousin. I let my cousin go. Me and my sister, we're discussing the conversation that I had just had with my cousin. Jared walked back through and he creates a whole scene. Who you was on the phone with, going in. And I said, what you got an attitude for? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? So it's a misunderstanding in the house. Now my sister here. One thing you're not gonna do, you're not gonna embarrass me in front of family. If there's an issue, let's go to the room. Let's talk about it. Don't act no fool in front of my sister because you'll get your ass slapped. You know, when it come down to my folks, don't do that. So I look at him and I say, man, what the fuck wrong with this man? What is going on? So I look at my sister look at me, and I said, I don't know what's wrong with him. He stormed out the door. He got his book bag on. I'm leaving. I said, so where you going? I need some space. You need fucking space. Oh, okay. What you upset about? So there was nothing for him to be upset about. Let me be clear. Whatever I was talking to my cousin about, it wasn't nothing for him to get upset about. Whatever me and my sister was talking about, it was nothing.
I'm glad you caught that. Because when she said he was my husband's best man for our little thing, I'm just like, wasn't nobody there. I I'm glad you caught that. Seriously. I don't know what did they have two different ceremonies? I don't know, y'all. We very much confused at this point. Child,
That could have offended him. He got so mad he left the house, y'all. He left that house and did not come back that night. I told my sister, I said, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit because I get up every night with his fucking baby.
I couldn't tell you. And that's why she got an attitude in part 9 and was like the negative comments. It's because her story is not making sense. If they had 2 children, then she would have said, out of all this mess came 2 beautiful babies. She said a beautiful 3-year-old girl, baby girl, came out of all this mess. Like just one kid. So I don't know. We all confused. Seriously.
Baby, I'm going in. My sister is like, I know. And she calm as she can be. And I broke down in front of my fucking sister, man. I broke down in front of my sister, man, and I went in and I told her, I said, I don't deserve this shit. I done did a lot for this nigga, man. I done did a lot, you know? And so my sister had never seen me get like that. She had never seen me get like that. And my sister held me, man.
I don't know what's going on, y'all. Ooh, y'all don't think I don't have a heart because I do, but my heart don't feel no tears for this situation. It is freaking amused. Like, what is going on? Where did the crackly voice and where is what? Why? Why are you crying while telling us that you went off talking to your sister? I don't even understand. What in the world, y'all? She really breaking down right now, telling us this story. Now that's what I said. Now that's what I said. Instead of trying to get clout and copy what Risa did, you should have got all your ducks in a row, ma'am. Because absolutely not. That you're on here crying with us, talking about what the lies he done told. Are you still married to him? Are you still romantically involved with him? Sis.
And she held me up that night.
What the world?
Dude, I love her for that. I love her for that shit, man.
Oh, hell no.
I do.
This some fake stuff.
So
this fake, y'all.
I called him that night and I said, man, where you at? Where you at?
This
I got a room.
Oh, okay.
You got a room? I said, what you going to get a room for? I told you I need some fucking space. I need some space. So my mind is everywhere because we just went from babe, what you want from Popeyes, to you walking in, acting a fool about something so small. And y'all, to be honest, I don't even remember what it was, but it wasn't nothing for him to get upset about.